I would hereby like to announce my retirement from FPL. My FPL team recently dropped into the relegation zone of my league, and despite my best efforts, I've not been able to get the best out of this team, so I hereby hand in my note of resignation, and I don't think I'll be back. Thank you. Hello guys, how are you getting on? My name is Aaron Kelly and you're very welcome back to another episode of the Premier League Verdict. As you can probably tell by my nasally voice and my general look of shit, I've been sick for a couple days and I'm still sick. But the show must go on, as they say. To try and cure me of my ailments, it would really help if you would subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We're trying to hit 1k by the end of the year. We're trying really hard, and I will say, you're going to want to be sticking around in the summer because we've got some unbelievable videos coming out, including the beginning of a FIFA series. Yes, you heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron Kelly playing FIFA 22. It's going to happen. It's a series. I've been planning it for a while, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to the summer to getting it started, so make sure you don't miss out on that. Follow me on my socials to keep up to date with everything. They're all linked in the description. And yeah, let's get into the video. As usual, we have our boxes out in front of us, lads. The green, yellow, and red. We're going to be tackling two boxes in one game to kick us off with this video. And we're going to be talking about the Man United and Arsenal game starting off from this weekend. And I'm going to give the green box, first of all, to Arsenal for once again tightening their grip on the top four after the end of what's been an amazing week for them, obviously beating Chelsea. We all know how I reacted to that.
Malang Sarr and N'Golo Kante, between the two of them, kick the ball away. What are you doing? What's he at? What is he doing? He's not even looking at the ball. He's just fucking manhandling Bukayo Saka. What's he at? Like, what does he expect to happen? Did he expect VAR to overturn that?
And then proceeding to tighten that grip with a massive win over Manchester United. And a couple of weeks ago we were kind of questioning whether or not Arsenal had the minerals. Obviously it looked like they were well in control and they lost 2 or 3 games on the bounce. A couple of bad results against teams they should have been beaten. And they go and pull out wins against Chelsea and Manchester United. I don't think the performance was the best we've seen from Arsenal all season, but it really didn't have to be because of how bad Manchester United are. Arsenal looked to lead through their left back Nuno Tavares after some more than questionable defending from how many times has Rafael Varane won the Champions League? He's won it all in football. Him and Alex Telles, between the two of them, I'm not really sure what they were doing. De Gea actually makes a good save to deny Saka, and then Tavares taps it into pretty much an empty net at the back post to give Arsenal the lead. Bukayo Saka then scored his second penalty of the week after he was fouled by Alex Telles in the box. I do think, though, that Manchester United were denied a clear and obvious one down the other end. I think Cedric has quite clearly handled it in the box. Somehow the referee and VAR don't give it. And that would have been a key point in the game as well. But Saka made it 2-0. Cristiano Ronaldo returned to the United starting 11 after what's been a hugely traumatic week for him and his family. And it was business as usual for him. A really good finish. And I think overall, Ronaldo was probably United's best player on the day. I think the way he linked the play was absolutely excellent. His pass and his vision. He was kind of showing traits that we've not really seen a massive amount from Cristiano Ronaldo this season, but he got his goal to make it 2-1 and gave United some hope. That hope then resulted in an onslaught of attacks at the beginning of the second half for Manchester United, who then won a penalty. And this brings us on to our stinker of the week. Bruno Fernandes gets the red box for this week, for this not only horrendous performance but horrendous penalty. Now I would have been throwing Jorginho into this box with him if Chelsea didn't go on to win, which we'll talk about in the yellow box. But United get a penalty close enough to the beginning of the second half, and it was when Nuno Tavares decided to throw his hand up in the box. Not really sure why he did that. And Bruno Fernandes was gifted the chance to make it 2-2 on the day and really give Manchester United a big chance of getting back into what is a vital game in their quote-unquote push for top 4. Now, the hop, skip and jump technique. We've talked about it a couple of times on this channel because Jorginho has taken them a lot and he's missed a lot. I think it looks amazing when it goes in. It looks like you're absolutely taking the piss. But when you miss, you have your fans calling for you to leave the club. So, I mean, I heard Chelsea fans, don't want to name names, but I heard Chelsea fans calling for Jorginho to be sold after his penalty of the weekend. This is how severe it is when you use this technique and miss. And Bruno Fernandes felt the full force of this when he saw his penalty hit the post. Surely in a highly pressurised situation, you try the skip when you're already 2 or 3-0 up against a team that you don't think really is going to come back. The game is already won. Maybe then you try the hop, skip and jump. Jorginho tried it in a Euros final. He's tried it in big games for Chelsea. He tried it the weekend in the 86th minute against West Ham. Luckily Chelsea went on to win. Bruno Fernandes has got to just put this ball in the back of the net. It doesn't matter how you do it. It doesn't matter if you do your shitty little hop, skip and jump. You don't look any cooler for doing it. Well, I mean, technically if it goes in, maybe you do look a little bit cooler than the average penalty taker. But you don't get an extra point for doing the hop, skip and jump. You don't get an extra goal for using that technique. Put the ball in the back of the fucking net. It's as simple as that, really. Look, I've missed penalties before, playing football at fucking Sunday League level. It's not fun. It's not fun. But never once have I missed a penalty while trying something fucking clever or stupid, like trying Panenka or fucking hop, skip and jump like Jorginho or Bruno. I think it's just stupid. You need to just, in that situation, you got to say, right, this could be a really important goal for us. I'm going to just stick it in the back of the net. Bruno doesn't, it hits the post, and Arsenal go on to win 3-1 thanks to a wonderful, wonderful Granit Xhaka strike to make it 3-1 to Arsenal. United fans will give out about potentially, was Eddie Nketiah offside for the Xhaka goal? Maybe. There was obviously complaints about the Saka penalty that was given. There was another complaint about the Cedric penalty for United on the other end that wasn't given. Shit happens. Like, you'd like to think these things balance themselves out over the course of the season. I think the Saka one actually was a penalty because I think Tellez just bundled him over in the box. Cedric, I've mentioned that already. I don't know how that wasn't given as a United penalty. Nketiah, is he blocking De Gea's view? Possibly. It's a weird one. I would feel hard done by if it was against my team, obviously. But 3-1 is how it finished. Arsenal moved within 2 points of Chelsea and really did tighten their grasp on the top 4, especially considering the fact that Tottenham were unable to beat Brentford as well. And West Ham obviously dropped all 3 points against Chelsea, which is the game we're going to move on to now in the yellow box. And it's nothing to do with the fact that Chelsea won the game and Chelsea got 3 points. Christian Pulisic got the goal. I do think the result probably does paper over a couple of cracks in that the performance was really, really poor for 95% of the game. Really only in the last 5 or 10 minutes did things really start to pick up. Jorginho misses that penalty and you're thinking it's going to be one of those fucking days. Then, of course, Marcus Alonso puts in the cross and Christian Pulisic arrives with a wonderful finish to make it 1-0 to Chelsea, and that is how it finished. But the yellow box this week actually goes to the big headline coming out of the game, and that was, you know, it came out before the game. Fabrizio Romano kind of confirmed it, and Thomas Tuchel confirmed it after that, and it's that Antonio Rudiger will be leaving Chelsea Football Club. And I won't lie to you, my first initial reaction to this was, fuck, how have we let this happen? The Chelsea board have dropped the ball on quite a couple of occasions over the last couple of seasons, but I did think at the time that this was the biggest one. How did we not manage to get this done earlier on in the season? I'm really fucking stuffed up. How did we not get this done before the club got sanctioned over the whole Roman Abramovich situation? But then I looked more into it, right? And the more I looked into it, the more I started to accept the fact that it's done, it's over. And the more I got a little bit angry at Antonio Rudiger. And this might piss off a few Chelsea fans. Yeah, lads, you know me at this stage. I don't really give a shit. I'm happy enough to put out my opinions on football matters. If people want to disagree with me, they want to disagree with me. If they can convince me otherwise, fair enough. I'm open to a debate. I'm a little bit annoyed at Antonio Rudiger now. I do think it's a little bit greedy what he is doing. I believe multiple sources have reported that the final contract that Chelsea offered Antonio Rudiger was 230 grand a week. 230k a week. Now, don't get me wrong, Antonio Rudiger has been a really good servant for Chelsea. I really only think he started to come into his own when Thomas Tuchel came in and we had that change of the system. I do think having Thiago Silva alongside him brought him on in leaps and bounds. But up until that, I thought he was a bit of a muppet. And if I'm being honest, like you would have heard a couple of times, if you're a long time subscriber to the channel, I would have said a couple of times that Antonio Rudiger's not up to it. Sell him prior to Thomas Tuchel coming in. I genuinely, really, even the most recently was when Frank Lampard was in charge. He had so many stinky games under Frank Lampard where I said, this lad is clearly not up to it. Get rid of him. And it's really only in the last year and a half that Antonio Rudiger has become the world-class centre-back we know him to be. But I'm honestly not too annoyed overall about the Antonio Rudiger situation. I think, you know, if you give him that contract, 300 grand a week, like, where do you draw the line? You know, you're going to have every fucking player knocking on your door saying, 300 grand a week, please. He got it, and he's not exactly irreplaceable, is he? Like, he's not a Messi or Ronaldo, is Antonio Rudiger. He can be replaced, and I'm sure Chelsea will replace him. You start offering him and giving him 300 grand a week contracts, you're going to have every fucking player in the club looking for 300 grand a week contracts, and it's just not feasible. Overall, in the end, I'm actually happy enough with the Rudiger situation being done and out of the way. I believe it's Real Madrid he's going to. Fair enough, you know, best of luck to him. I've no malice towards him. I said it about Eden Hazard at the time. Best of luck at Real Madrid. You know, he's done well for us. But no player is bigger than the club. Simple as. Simple as. I said it when Eden Hazard left, and Eden Hazard is in my top 2 or 3 favourite Chelsea players of all time. So nobody is bigger than the club. And Antonio Rudiger is absolutely no different to that. But yeah, Chelsea fans, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy. And as I said at the beginning, subscribe if you're new. And we'll see you next time. Good luck.